Morning.
Good morning, Jamie.
We're like,
I want to start this episode off with a moment of silence
Okay.
for our perpetual audio issues
you know what?
we've had on this show.
I want to start off by saying thank you for updating my computer for this podcast.
So last week we were remote. We were in different places.
I'm
and
sorry for the listeners.
It was bad. It was bad. I mean, it was a great episode. 10 out of 10.
In full disclosure, I'm wearing AirPods, recording from my phone.
Yeah.
This is not normal for us.
Yeah, that was audio quality not good
What
last
number
week.
was that?
That was 13. So I don't know.
So
14.
for the newcomers, that's not our normal.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It was way worse than normal for sure.
Totally.
But even since we started, we haven't gotten the audio thing down, and it's still blowing out sometimes. So if any of our listeners are audio experts or podcasting experts,
help us out.
help us out. We should use some tips. We bought some equipment. It's not fancy, but it's semi fancy, I'd say.
Also, if anybody wants to sponsor for
upgraded equipment. That's the thing. Like Brian is like, you for Christmas, you could ask for better audio equipment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what
No.
what I'd get and how I'd use it. Like, we're probably not even utilizing this to its full potential.
Who knows?
So last week we were remote. We had those issues. This week I got all the way to the office today, drove 45 minutes to get to the office, and forgot my whole backpack and computer at home this morning. So we're using.
Was there a thing behind that? Were you like,
kind
was
of
there a rush? There was.
So I drove to the gym with Brian this morning. We
Yeah.
went back home after the gym. That's not usual. That's usually I'll leave from the gym to go directly to the office.
Okay.
Other thing was I was loading a bunch of stuff up from my house. So
sure.
I had like 5 bags of trash from my house,
Yeah.
which I brought to our office dumpster today. So
Okay.
uh,
My tray.
brought your tray back, brought my mom's
It was my
picture
fault.
back.
It was the
It was the tray. That was my last load, was the tray. So could be.
There it is.
And yeah, forgot my backpack. So we're using your computer, which back in its heyday, it was probably a hot commodity.
Back in 2009, this piece was.
Yeah, you could probably sell this for a lot of money. Actually,
Yeah.
the fact that it's still kicking,
Still up and running, and it's seen some things.
it's a dinosaur. It's a relic.
It's had 2 kids spill multiple liquids on it. It's phenomenal. Yeah. So here we are.
So moment of silence. Give us 5 seconds. Okay.
Amen.
Also feeling a little sick today.
I hear it. I do hear it.
The nasalness.
You look great.
Thank you.
Sound
Not great.
not the best.
Yeah. So rough start to my Monday morning.
You know what? I feel like 'tis the season.
Yeah.
Chad's sick for the first time in 3 years.
Yep.
That's a big thing in our house.
Is he how sick is Chad?
I mean, he took medication.
Oh,
that's
what
listen.
kind we're talking like a
Like a
Dayquil?
Sudafed, like
Okay,
a
Sudafed. Gotcha.
He will claim he's not been sick since 2020. And every time we get sick, I've had COVID multiple times. He's never had it. He's never tested positive.
Wow.
He, his whole thing is the way his healthy lifestyle keeps him from getting sick.
Yeah.
And then he got sick.
It's a nice little story he's built for himself.
It's a great
I mean,
story.
there's probably a lot of truth to it, but he's probably built up this belief that he's like indestructible. And now this is probably crushing his beliefs.
Well, I mean, it's inevitable. But he, I was gone one night this weekend and I could tell he was like a little congested over the phone.
Yeah.
And then when I came home, he was like, yeah, I've taken Sudafed. But it was nothing that here's the thing. It didn't like knock him down for the day and keep him in bed over, it was just, he sounded like you sound.
So I'm sorry, which day did he get sick?
He wasn't feeling good Friday.
Okay. Gotcha.
And took medication. Was supposed to go. He went to a Christmas party at a workplace, and just like he said, he just like popped by for a little bit, and then went home.
Okay.
And
I
then
was worried
came
for a
home
second that
Saturday.
I got him sick.
No,
We saw each
no,
other
no.
Saturday.
Right. He was feeling better. Like he took Sudafed on Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday was like a low key day for him.
Yeah.
And then, and yesterday he was fine.
He's fine. That's
so
annoying.
really, was he even sick? I don't even know. We've been sick for months over here.
Yeah,
but-
same. It's like been 2 or 3 weeks. There's been 0 days where I've been like in bed all day feeling absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
But every morning I wake up feeling stuffy and I'm coughing and just
Yeah.
mornings are the worst, evenings are the worst. And then
Yeah.
throughout the day I feel a little bit better. But today I'm feeling like kind of not great.
Just not
Very
firing on all
nasally.
cylinders.
Yeah. So it's to the season, as you said.
It is.
All right. So this weekend, how was your weekend?
Okay.
You know what I realized this morning?
We don't say that.
We never say it, which is kind of.
We'll be like, how was your Friday?
Yeah, so let's just start with how was your weekend? Just give me
Okay.
give me a over. Let's go 10,000 feet into the air.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
Rank your weekend 1 out of 10.
I actually had a really good weekend.
Awesome.
It was a mix of like I did a little bit of traveling out of town for Alice's cheer competition, went to a Christmas party, went to a Christmas play, went out to dinner with friends last night, had some downtime yesterday morning. It was a nice balance, but a lot of good stuff.
Cool.
A lot of like I feel tired. I feel like I had a lot of energy exerted into things emotionally, mentally.
Yeah.
Some late nights, but well worth it, you know?
Yeah. I feel exactly the same. It was a well-rounded, socially stimulating, just great weekend.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. All right, so let's go.
Okay.
We can go deeper now. So Friday. How was your Friday?
So on Friday, I was with Alice's cheer team. Okay. We had practice after school, and then we all traveled up to Bothell, Washington.
Bothell. Bothell.
They had a competition there Saturday morning, so we were going Friday night so we could kind of just do some bonding together, but then also so we wouldn't have to wake up super
so
early.
Stayed in Bothell.
Stayed in Bothell overnight.
Which we're at?
Just at a Hampton Inn.
Okay.
It is very funny to be around middle school girls. They are wild.
Yeah. I haven't spent much time around middle school girls.
You know what? I'm actually happy to hear that for you.
Probably not since middle school.
I actually really, I used to think people that work with middle schoolers, I'm like, God bless you. I don't know how you do that. Now that I'm around them, I'm kind of into it. I'm like, they're kind of these like precious weirdos who are just, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it because it's this really odd transition between child and teenager.
Yeah.
And it's very fascinating.
Yeah. They're like kind of discovering themselves.
Totally. But they also think they're like so cool, but also very insecure. Yeah. It's just this really mixed bag. I'm here for it. I'm not going to lie. So we get there, we and because it's Friday traffic, it takes us a little bit to get up there. We all get to the hotel. Eventually, by the time all parties arrived, we were ordering pizza at like 9 o'clock at night.
Nice. Where'd you order pizza from?
I actually don't know. It was a place out there that one of the moms was like, "Oh, it's really good."
Okay.
It starts with a P, not Pizza Hut.
Okay.
And we did like pizza, and then the moms got salad.
Okay.
And it was really yummy.
Describe the pizza. Was it like was it like the cheese on top over the ingredients? Because I asked because there's a place in Bothell called Sparta's.
No, it wasn't Sparta's.
Okay.
It was something like
Sparta's is incredible.
Paglicios or
Oh, Pagliacci?
Yes.
Okay. That's a chain. That's like a Seattle chain.
Okay.
So that's really good.
Okay.
I've had, there's a family a local Washington family that owns this chain.
Well, she knew it. She was like, "Oh, this place is good." So that makes sense that it's a chain because none of us are connected.
It's pretty thin, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So describe the cheese. You said.
Well, okay, so one of my favorite pizza places ever is in Bothell. It's Sparta's. So that's where if we do a pizza night with Brian's family because they all live in Bothell, we'll do Sparta's pizza.
Okay.
So shout out. It's great.
Oh, great. Good to know. Next time we're there, I'm going to try that. So we did that. I remember last week when I was talking about my Suncadia trip and how we played a game called Mafia.
Yes.
Well, I told the girls we're going to play a game of Mafia. A lot of them play it. It's like I think maybe like a youth group thing that they do as well. So they knew it. But that was kind of funny to play that. It's kind of like herding cats with middle schoolers.
Yeah.
There's so much energy. They're all just loud and screaming constantly. So to get them to like play a game, and we were in a hotel, there's people around us.
Yeah.
So it was, and there's 14 of them.
Wow.
So it was.
Did you all congregate in one room?
When we were hanging out, we did. One of the moms got a suite, so there was like a living space that they could hang in. But it was loud, echoey. And then we had a handful of rooms to ourselves that we shared. I was so grateful. The girls in my room were calm, and I got them. We were probably in bed around 10, maybe not asleep until closer to 11, like watching a show and just kind of unwinding. But there were some rooms that were up to 1:30.
Wow.
And then the alarms were going off 4:30.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was intense.
I'm beyond those days.
Yeah.
I need a 7-hour night.
I'm telling you what.
I like prefer 8 or 9 hours of sleep.
Me too.
Great, but 7-hour minimum, non-negotiable.
I know you love your sleep. I also am really, I'm tracking it now. I'm like making sure. Yeah.
Do you wear like your watch to bed?
I do wear my watch. Yeah, we take like a little supplement of I almost said melatonin. That's not it.
Magnesium.
Magnesium.
A little sleepy drink.
A little bit.
Or is it
not
a drink?
It's a tablet.
Okay,
like a
cool.
pill.
Yeah, Brian makes a sleepy time cocktail every once in a while, or
Okay.
mocktail with magnesium and like tart cherry juice and cranberry juice, a few juices, and then apple cider vinegar.
That sounds
top it off with some what's the healthy soda?
Zedia?
Nope. I gotta find it.
Healthy soda. Okay.
Stall for 7 seconds. It is called Olipop.
Olipop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. Great little evening nightcap.
It's funny because that's one of the things when Chad and I wake up every morning. How'd you sleep? Let me check.
Yeah.
1.5 hours of REM, 2 hours.
I'm not going to give you my off the dome answer. Let me check to see how I sleep.
It doesn't matter how you feel. Tell me what your watch says. Yeah. That's what I always tease him because I'm like, before I had my watch, I would ask him, "How do you feel?" And he would be like, "Let me see." And I'm like,
but you're bought in now.
Now I'm into it. And we have this thing where we want to get ideally over an hour of deep sleep and 2 hours of REM, and the rest is.
See, I feel like that's something that I could get really into. Yeah. I just don't like wearing something to bed.
Sure.
Like there's the rings you can wear or watch, and
I
just want to be loose and free.
I hear you.
I don't know.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't. Yeah. But yeah. So that was my Friday.
Cool.
Pretty much. How about you?
Friday night was pretty chill. As you know, we had our Christmas party Saturday, so we had plans to start working on stuff Friday night, but we went to dinner downtown Renton, a place called Berliner Pub, which is like a little German bar.
Yeah.
And we've been apprehensive to try it. A lot of people have told us to try it, but it's like a German bar. So I'm like, we're not super into pretzels or brats or that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So we're like, whatever. Maybe we'll just go there for drinks. But we went there and the menu is great. They have all these sorts of burgers and chicken sandwiches and wings and nachos and all sorts of good stuff. Really cool in there. There's several fireplaces inside. Ooh. There's a cool outdoor area. Fun. Really cool environment in there. So we got dinner there, and then kind of just walked around downtown Renton a little bit to explore there's Christmas lights and everything.
Nice.
And then went home and caught up on Survivor and The Amazing Race.
Good for you.
Which we're so into these shows right now.
I love that you are.
Yeah, Amazing Race is down to the final 3, so there's 1 episode left. This week will be the last episode. Survivor, they're down to 6 or 7 people.
Okay.
I was very sad about who got eliminated in Survivor. Very sad. She was my favorite.
Oh.
Amazing Race, I'm a huge fan of the final 3 teams.
Okay.
One of the teams is a father-son duo.
Oh, very
cool. And
the
dad is deaf. And it is so cool to watch because it's I don't know. I feel like you don't see a lot of deaf people represented on TV, especially in these reality shows. But it's just so cool how they have figured out translators throughout, and the son will be translating for the dad. It's just the really
son is not.
He's not deaf, no. But it's just in the last episode, the dad was talking about how he's so proud to have made it this far, and how it's such a cool. So he's looking at it as an opportunity to showcase that deaf people can be on this type of show. So super super cool. Yeah, so love these shows.
That's really cool. There was actually a deaf team that competed on Saturday at the cheer thing.
Oh, cool.
And it was really
interesting.
The whole team.
Wow.
So they had another person, almost like an interpreter, saying words because the team themselves weren't talking. And then they had somebody beating a drum. I don't know if it was the vibrations that they felt, but they did a whole routine and dance arm movements while somebody else verbally said the words or they played music during it. Yeah, it was really neat. I also today watched a video and found myself in tears of, do you ever see the ones where it's they're at Disneyland and a family is talking to one of the little mascots? This one was Donald Duck, but it turns out the kids were deaf and they were using sign language, and Donald Duck picked up on it and starts communicating in sign language.
Oh my goodness.
Those things make me cry every time. And I've seen a handful of them. I feel like I don't know what it is. It's a princess or it's one of the costumed people. And they just pick up, or somebody with special needs that's, sensory, whatever. And they do something. I just immediately bawl my eyes.
Yeah. Disney does a good job
really
at accommodating for everybody.
Also,
making people feel special.
Can I make a disclosure?
Yeah.
I talked about Disney last week. It's a surprise for my children. So for anybody listening,
they don't listen to the podcast, right? No.
Don't say anything. Yeah. Anyways, okay.
Yeah. If you see Allison Piper, no talking about Disney.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a big tangent. Sorry.
Okay, so back to the reality shows. Survivor, Amazing Race. If you had to go on any reality show, which one do you think you would thrive on.
Okay, because I feel like we talked about this before, but it was like relational one.
Yeah.
I do Love Is
You
Blind.
do Love Is Blind.
But if I'm happily married,
Right.
it's a great question. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I don't hate the idea of The Amazing Race, except for like the physical challenges.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot. The show that I'm obsessed with but would never be on is called Alone.
Okay.
Have you heard of that one?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think I could handle really
Isn't there one where they're naked?
Yep, Naked and Afraid.
Is that the same?
It's very similar.
Concept?
It's except you're a boy and a girl. Usually, I think is like two strangers meet in like a jungle and you're both naked and then you have to survive. I think that's it.
So weird.
Super odd. Somebody is like, you know what? They're just spitballing ideas.
Have you watched it?
In a room? I have seen a few episodes.
So were they just blurring stuff the whole time? Wow.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'll have to think about that for a little bit because I don't even know the only reality shows I watch are like dating ones.
Yeah.
And then survivalist. And I'm like, You're not one of those. Okay, here's one. It's called Traders.
Okay. Oh, we talked about Traders.
We have talked about Traders. Yeah. It also reminds me of the game Mafia that we've been playing that I'm talking about. I could do that.
Okay.
I could do that. I think that would be really fun.
What about like Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy?
I mean, no. Thank you for thinking Jeopardy could even be an option for me. No, I don't know. I would like, if I'm going to do it, I want to be like on a season of a show.
Yeah.
Not a one.
Have you watched Big Brother?
Not really, no.
Brian's watching Big Brother right now.
Okay.
And it's interesting. It's like they're like all in a house together.
Okay.
It's very similar to Survivor where like each week somebody's voted off and yeah, it's fine.
Is it like what was that show on MTV like what was it?
Real House?
Real House.
Or Real World.
Real World.
Real World.
Hard phrase.
It's kind of hard to say.
Out. Is it like that?
I've never watched that.
Okay.
I actually don't know anything about it. I've watched like probably a cumulative 10 minutes of Big Brother, so I can't really share much.
Okay.
I've like seen the exact same part of 4 different episodes, and it's always the elimination part.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I can tell you for sure that people get eliminated in that show.
Yeah.
Other than that, I couldn't tell you anything. So.
Have you heard of the new Squid Games reality
show?
Okay,
so I heard some tea on that.
Oh.
So apparently, basically the reality show is based off the original TV show. And the winner won like over $4 million.
Not bad.
Which is, I think, is the highest award of any reality show ever.
I wonder if they were like, we were not expecting that.
So, they knew how much they were going to have to pay going into it.
Okay.
They just started promoting season 2 of this show. Yeah. They're going to do season 2.
Okay.
And the winner of season 1 hasn't been paid yet. And she's like, and she kind of went on. She started being vocal about it and like, you're really gonna start promoting season 2 when we wrapped airing this like months ago and you haven't even paid me yet. So I don't know. I'm sure there's some stuff happening behind the scenes there, but that's the tea that I heard.
Okay. I haven't watched it, but my daughter said she had started to watch it with a friend over the weekend. So I was just curious if that was.
I know the original show isn't like kid appropriate at all.
Right.
It's very
so
gruesome.
Here's the difference. On the reality show, they don't kill them.
They don't kill them. Okay. They're not immediately murdered if they don't stop moving.
Correct.
That's good.
Yeah. So I feel like fine, watch it. She did put it on the other day in the house, and it was like a little bit was like human battleship, and that seemed very harmless. Like they were just, they stood in the ship, and if the other team like gave the right B6 or whatever, and it was them, they'd be like, okay, that person's been eliminated.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's elimination, not
death.
Murder.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
So speaking of child-friendly shows and movies, what are your thoughts on Hunger Games? Have your kids watched Hunger Games?
Only Alice.
Okay.
And it's really funny because the new one came out.
Yeah.
And I was going to surprise her because she loves the books.
Yeah.
I was going to surprise her and take her to the theater. And then she told me later, and I never did. She told me later she didn't want to watch it in the theater because she was worried it would be too scary.
Okay.
So we have like this like bootleg streaming site that we'll sometimes like watch things off of. And we were able to watch it on there. And it was like, we saw it, but it was not the best quality.
Okay.
If that makes sense. She was like eager to know what it was about. I think since she's seen it in that platform, going to the theaters now she kind of knows what to expect. Okay. But she's funny. Even reading the books, she was like, this is, I don't know if I'm like, stop reading it before bed because you're getting scared.
It's dark. Like it's such a dark, heavy concept. And it's interesting because it's like, it feels like a kid's movie, but then the actual the concept is like so
Totally.
heavy. So I was wondering when we saw the theater, when we saw it in theaters, there were some younger kids there, and we're like, at what age is this like good to watch?
Alice is 12.
Okay.
And so,
is it rated PG-13?
It should be.
Okay.
It probably should be.
Yeah.
I heard you guys got like a special thing for that.
Yeah. So it was very weird. It was free, but basically Taylor, Isaac, my sister-in-law Taylor, she found out about it, and sorry, you know who Taylor is. For the audience,
our listeners might not.
Listeners. So she found out about it, and Brian's a big Hunger Games fan too, and he actually read the book for the most recent movie.
Okay.
And so they, collaborated on this, and we saw it in theaters before it came out in like for the public to watch.
Right.
It's like a pre-screening, and there were like gifts, like they give everybody like a pin and a rose, and there was like trivia beforehand and all this stuff, and it was free.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, why?
And how? How did they find out about this?
Well, so they must have seen it on social media or something.
Okay.
So they got it, and it was first come, first serve. It wasn't like a ticketed event or anything. But what I don't understand is why it was free. Like, what benefit does this have?
Do you think just like more promotion? Like,
I guess, like, but I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me, because like they were doing this in 15 cities across the United States or something, and it was free for everybody. And I was just like, what does this do for the theaters?
Yeah.
Maybe some promotion. Maybe they get photos of it beforehand.
Right.
I don't. But it was cool. I'm not complaining.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
that's awesome. So back to your Friday.
One more reality show thing.
Yep.
So we love talking about our shows. Have you watched Couples Therapy?
Yes.
You've watched it?
Yes. That's so funny you say that, because what were we doing? It was like Chad and I were out of town, and we like binged like 4 episodes in one night. Like we couldn't, it's the therapist in New York, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Her name is Orna.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we had started counseling this year.
Right.
So for us, it was really fascinating, because the timing of it was like same. And I am obsessed. Like, it was very fascinating.
It's very fascinating. So it's real therapy. It's real people, real therapy. It's the way it's filmed is interesting, because if you look, there's no actual like visible cameras within her therapy space. So it's all hidden cameras everywhere. And so it's not like there's cameras in their face as they're in therapy. Like, it feels to them like a real therapy session, which it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like very fascinating to see.
How many seasons are there?
3 seasons. I just finished the first season last night.
I was going to say, I couldn't tell you what we watched. It was just one of those, like, when it's like, when you're at a hotel and it's real TV. Yeah. It's like not something that you're streaming. So it was some sort of, I don't know, like marathon of that.
Yeah. So it's a Showtime show. So you can get it through Hulu, I think.
Okay.
And it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
All these couples, it's like, I don't know, being in a relationship's hard. There's so many, you're 2 people that have a lot in common a lot of the times, but a lot that not in common. And just like, there's so many reasons you can clash on things. And Brian and I this weekend, we were like, I have major OCD, Brian has major ADHD, and that clashes a lot of the time. Sure. Like, getting ready for our party on Saturday, I'm like, things have to be a certain way. And Brian's like, what if we do this? What if we do this? And it's just like, there's that clash that happens. And it's, relationships are hard.
Are you willing to share, like, what does a clash look like in your house? Like,
I am a very loud person when I'm angry. Yeah. I raise my voice for sure. Yeah. Which is interesting. So a lot of our fights it'll start on something. Yeah. Like whatever stupid thing we're fighting about. Yeah. And then it very quickly turns into the way that we end up fighting about the fight itself. Sure. Because of how I raise my voice, or because of, a lot of times we end up arguing over like how something was said. Like, you said that way, or no, I didn't say it like that. And like, and it's just, which is silly, because then our fight ends up becoming about the fight rather than about what we're actually like disagreeing about in the first place. So.
Are you trying to justify why you raised your voice? Are you like, I only raised my voice because I wanted you to do it this way and you didn't do it?
Well, what I say a lot of the times is, well, I raise my voice because I'm angry. Yeah. Like, that is my reaction.
I'm feeling an emotion.
Yeah, I have an emotion, and that is why I'm raising my voice. Yeah. And his family is quiet. I mean, I haven't heard them raise their voices. So, I think that's just, we just have different, and not that my family raises their voice a lot, but I think people just have different ways that they do communicate under stress. And so, but the show is like very fascinating to watch people in real time, like going through stuff. And the last episode of season 1 is like a COVID episode. So it's like while they were filming.
I must have watched season 1 then, because I do remember that.
While they're filming, COVID started happening. So then they started having to film over, over Zoom or whatever. And people's like the things that people were having to deal with in their relationships changed because of COVID. Now they're spending 100% of their time together. And one couple is interesting. They're like, what they thought that their issue was before was that they didn't spend enough time together because they both traveled for work and they would be apart from each other so much. But now that they're together all the time, it's like we're still having issues. So we can't blame it on that anymore.
Was that the one who the girl was on Broadway?
I think so. They both worked in like media of some kind. But it might have been her. But super fascinating show.
It's very fascinating. Just to circle back to the conflicts in your house, I feel like that is something I'm really becoming more hyper aware of, especially as we've been talking with Connie, our counselor, of how we deal. Chad and I have this like really healthy habit of fighting and then just ignoring each other for days. Like it's really not good. So the fact that you guys it can be. I'm working on that because that's usually my fault. Chad goes off of my like
vibe.
Yeah. So if I'm being quiet, he will be quiet.
Right.
If I'm off, he will distance himself. So there's this very like ebb and flow in a not great way. And what I'm learning, especially as somebody who like, I don't necessarily think I avoid conflict. It's not that, but I do something. I don't know how to label it. But for me, it's very uncomfortable when I'm not able to predict what he's going to say. And I'm very uncomfortable if I feel like I was in the wrong because I can get vocal as well, or I can like snap and I'm like, I get embarrassed and I'm like, that should not have been my reaction. And because I'm embarrassed, I will like in my head justify it and then to avoid talking about it so that I don't have to acknowledge it.
Interesting.
Which is not healthy.
Yeah.
So what I'm learning from Connie for whatever this is worth is to embrace a little bit of that discomfort earlier on.
Okay.
So being okay to be like, I'm not going to be able to control his response in this and his outcome, but that doesn't mean I have to avoid him for days on end.
Would Connie say, and maybe we'd ask Connie, like, is a little bit of separation good? Like if you're, because I find for myself, if I get frustrated, I definitely have a bit of a temper, and like I can go 0 to 100 very quick, and I've found that like a lot of times I do need to step away, even for 10-20 minutes, and then I'll be like, I'll calm down, and then I'm able to have a rational conversation. But if I'm in that moment, I have a hard time seeing clearly.
And you're like, this isn't helpful. So I think for us and what Connie's encouraged is finding something to say that, like basically making sure that the other person feels safe, right? So being able to say, I'm going to need at least 20 minutes. I want to talk about this, but I'm going to need a little bit of time. Or maybe with Chad, I'll have to say something like, I know I shouldn't have reacted like that, but I'm not quite ready to dive into it. You know, something like just, I think giving that acknowledgement and then, but also making it. And I feel like that is like, that can diffuse so much. If you're, and some people, everybody's like communication styles are different. So for some people, I don't know if Brian's like, he wants to handle it right then and there. Like you shouldn't have reacted. Now we're going to solve this and have a whole thing. And you're like, I'm not ready yet. But just knowing that about each other and then being able to be like, I know this is important to you, but in order for me to bring my like best and safest approach to this, I'm going to need 20. I think that's fine.
So if anything, if we don't get on any of these other shows, we can be on couples therapy.
Should we do that?
That'll be the show that we get accepted on.
Oh my gosh. They're like, you need it. Okay.
Friday night.
All
wow.
To say,
what a great Friday.
Weekends.
All right. Saturday. How was your Saturday? How was the cheer tournament?
Okay. So Saturday, this is the thing. We were like, we're going to be smart. We're going to stay the night in Bothell so that we don't have to wake up so early. And then these middle school girls are like, let's wake up at 4:30 to get ready.
What time was the tournament at?
Well, we were supposed to check in at 7:10, which meant leaving our hotel by like 6:45. Like we just wanted to make sure we got there, parked, walked to where we need to go. So, and then it was, eating breakfast. So anyways,
Continental breakfast.
Continental.
Love
it
that.
wasn't bad actually. I got my room up closer to 5.
Okay.
I was up a little bit before. I showered and then got the girls up around 5. And then they had like a good hour to like get ready.
Okay.
And then we went down for breakfast.
I do not like waking up in the 4s. If there's a 4 on the alarm clock, I don't like it.
On a Saturday of all days.
Yeah.
It was bad. I felt like I didn't sleep at all Friday night. Hence why Saturday evening at your party, I was a little bit like, so we go to the competition. Our girls did great. They're funny. They're very critical of themselves. So you get there and you do. Oh, also I got to be like one of the coaches this time.
Oh,
so I got to go to like the back area with them and go to the warm-up room. And
you were a cheerleader, right?
I was a cheerleader. Okay. Yeah. And right now I'm kind of this like temporary parent coach helper with the team. So I'm like slowly easing into it.
Are you showing them some of your moves from back in the day?
100% not. Not at all. It's changed. It's also really different. But I don't know. I'm trying to give like some feedback and then also just be another adult to wrangle these children. So anyways, we get there and we perform at 8:40. Before that, they are warming up. And it's really interesting. They like have 3 different practice mats that you go on and you do like some stunting. Then you do the next mat's a little bit bigger and you do like more of your routine. And then the next mat is like the biggest and you do your full routine. Okay. So it's just fascinating to kind of see all the like inner workings. They performed so well in the warm-up room. And then for their actual performance, they did phenomenal. They were so good. But there were a couple little slip-ups in the actual performance. Yeah. So they were very critical of themselves. Like afterwards, we were so proud of them. I mean, they still did great, but immediately afterwards, Alice is in the hallway of the school and she's like making a list on what I can do better next time.
No way.
That's
awesome.
It was hilarious. I was like, this is funny. And then you stay and you watch the other teams and they do like an awards ceremony. And we did get first in our division. So that was great. There were like more teams this time. The last competition, we were like, I don't know if we were competing against anybody, to be honest with you, the way it worked, the way like our category was. Yeah. This one, there's about 5 other teams and we got first in that. So that was really good.
That's awesome.
And then we came back from that, probably got home like 3:30 in the afternoon, did a fairly quick turnaround, got everybody like showered and ready. And then we headed to your party, which was great. Chad and I were like, just almost so enjoying being flies on the wall of like your life because we knew no one. We met Chad.
Right.
And people recognized me from our podcast.
I love that.
They were like, wait, I'm like, yes. But also we were just like, this was us. We still feel like it's funny. Like we feel like we're still in that season.
Right.
But then we see the people that are in it and we're like, we're not in that season. Yeah. Like
wait, which season? Tell me more.
The young, like 20 professionals, no kids season.
Right.
Like
there's only one. So we had about 30 people, and only one. You guys always have kids. Yeah. Only one other couple has a newborn,
a fresh
baby.
One.
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Who came to the party?
Dean, adorable.
The Dean brought down the average age.
A little bit.
And you guys brought up the average.
And
age
then it was us.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
We had a blast.
Going to a party or event where you know you're not going to know anybody can be a little stressful.
I
but
thought
you guys
maybe Taylor and Isaac were going to be there.
They were going to, and then they last minute they stayed in Long Beach.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, for what it's worth, we had a blast, and it was actually kind of like. It was kind of one of those things where because we didn't know anybody, we also didn't feel too much pressure to be like, oh, we've got I don't know. It was like we were more like kind of people watching and just doing our own thing, which was great. And I'm so excited about the white elephant gift that I got, which was the popcorn maker.
Oh, okay.
Because that's my favorite snack.
Big popcorn gal.
So I was like, Chad wanted, not yet.
Okay.
Chad wanted the Yeti cup. That got stolen. And I was like,
it got intense. It was
hilarious.
Okay. I loved, a lot of notes on the party.
Okay.
One, we were, so leading up to the day. So let me just do a little rewind.
Let's hear it.
Morning, we did a little workout. I did a little workout class.
At your guys' gym.
At the gym.
This
Love our gym.
By the way.
Yeah.
Looks amazing.
It's incredible. It's literally changed our lives.
I wish there was something closer in Tacoma like this.
Yeah, not to be dramatic, but it literally has made our lives better.
I kind of get it.
Yeah. Having that was one of the things we loved about living in LA is we had like a nice bougie gym that we went to and we loved it. We'd spend so much time there. We wanted to spend time there because it was nice. This same thing. There's like, I love all the classes. I sit in the sauna or steam room every day. There's a cafe. I'll like if I'm doing one of my work from Seattle days or work from home days, I'll work out, then I'll work at the cafe for a few hours, then I'll come home, and it's so great. So
could we get something like that here?
There is a huge need for more like nice gyms in Washington in general. Like even in Seattle, there's not very many options. If you go to California, there's dozens and dozens of nice gyms. In Texas, there's all these, New York, all these other cities.
I was going to say, even in North Carolina, when we lived in Wilmington, North Carolina, there was a nice gym that we were like a part. I couldn't tell you the name of it, but I remember like they had like a dark cardio room and they had like the amenities you're describing right now. All that stuff.
I love it. I love a nice gym. So I actually have a call tomorrow with somebody who emailed me and they want to start like a Scandinavian style spa in Washington. And I'm like, and she said she got my contact from somebody, and I'm like, I would also want to do that. So let's chat. So
like she wants you, what's your role?
She got my information as like a real estate guy. And she want to talk about like the real estate business side of doing that.
Amazing.
So I'm like very excited for that call.
Okay. More to come.
Anyway, so went to the gym and then we left the gym at like 10, and then from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. was doing everything to get ready for the party,
including a little fighting.
Yeah, that probably took up about 30 to 40 minutes of that time.
That's actually really good.
And yeah, so we went to Costco. Costco on a Sunday or on a Saturday is horrible.
Especially this season.
Oh my gosh. Crazy. And then went to Target, and then we went home, and it feels like there wouldn't be that much to get ready for this kind of party, but there was so much. Like it was an all day thing.
And you guys like turned every part of your house.
We rearranged all the furniture. Yep. Yeah. So our house is 740 square feet. Yep. We knew that there were going to be about 30 people there.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's going to feel very, okay. So that was one of the main sources of the fights was, so our office room, which would turn into
the dessert wing?
The dessert room. Yes. I was like, nobody's going to be in here. Like this room's not going to be used.
I loved it.
Everyone's going to be in the common space. Like, I'm like, we can set something up. But Brian's like, no, I want to make this room special.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a waste of time. Yeah. So what I said that turned into a fight was, this isn't a project we should be prioritizing right now. Or I said something along those lines, which wasn't the way I said it. Probably wasn't. It wasn't nice. It was probably demeaning.
He was excited about it.
He was excited about it, and I squat exactly 100%. So I did that. That was my fault, and everything's my fault. I've just embraced that. Anytime we have 2 drinks or 2 food items, I'll put his item on the right and mine on the left. Because he's always right.
He's always right.
Yeah. Little relationship.
You guys are you're gonna be successful.
Hopefully.
You've already figured it out.
Yeah. So yeah, it took a lot of time getting ready. Yeah. We had to clean the whole house. Which is normally like tidy, but our bathroom was gross. So we had to do a deep scrubbing of everything. Sure. And then because the house is small, we're like, okay, we need to use the garage as well for overflow space. So we set up. And this is another thing. And Brian, so that this is part of the OCD and the ADHD clashing. Yeah. I'm like, I just want to get stuff done. And Brian's like, I want to make it like, I want to like do more, like over the top type stuff, which I love. Like he has that creative energy that I don't necessarily have. And so he like made the garage super cute. We put up lights and put up a Christmas tree in the garage. And
I have a question for you. Yeah. Because I recently am wondering if I might have a little ADHD symptoms that have been undiagnosed for 41 years.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some things on social media and I'm like, holy cow, I'm relating to a lot of that. When it comes to parties, that happens to me as we're getting ready. I'm like, oh wait, I should do more. Yeah. And it's like, so my question for you is, does Brian plan all of this ahead, or is it as you're preparing and putting things out, he's like, you know what we should do? Put more lights up.
Yes, the latter. Yeah.
Because
there was at one point I was doing something in the kitchen. He went into his office for a second, and then he like disappeared for a while. And he was setting the screensavers on his computer to like a fireplace and like a Christmassy video thing, which is super cute. Several people commented on it, but that was like,
I walked in and was one of the first things I noticed. Yeah. Just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's definitely. I mean, could be. I mean, I just saw your desktop on your computer, so
that's Chad's.
That's
Oh, you mean all the files?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the background. I was like, it's not like a fireplace.
No,
you saw all the files.
Yeah. That could be I mean, I saw that, and no judgment, but that could be some there could be some ADHD going
Okay,
on there.
so I'm like, I don't want to take away from your Saturday,
No.
but I've been seeing this, and I am like, what? There's a supplement called Brain Power. I don't know. It's like Joe Rogan's like talking about it.
Yeah.
And but I did get it this week because I'm like, what if there has been something? A lot of it for me is the motivation part of like, I have all these ideas, but executing them and like doing them is really challenging.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot of that like last minute. That is 100%.
Right.
Even at my birthday party, I had thought about like, oh, I'm just going to have food catered. And then literally the hour or two before everybody arrives, I'm like, I should decorate my kitchen with things. Wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah.
But got like a mason jar for my pen, you know, like an Italian like pasta jar for these things. And yeah. So anyways, interesting.
I also think I feel like I don't know. I don't actually have an opinion on this. Overdiagnose things where I think also people have different skill sets. Like we did our 6 working geniuses test recently, or there's the Enneagram or all these different things, and people just have different things that they're good at. Like Brian is more creative than I am. I know that. So like when we're coming, I should, instead of getting frustrated that he like goes off and does this other thing, I'm like, I should just, and I do. I like appreciate those little creative ideas, because if it was me, I'm very much just like cut and dry, like just kind of, my brain doesn't go there. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. So got to
back to your Saturday.
Finished setting up. The party was supposed to start at 6. We didn't finish setting up until like 6:45. Yeah. Like we were still the first 30 to 40 minutes of the party. We were still putting food out, like turning on the fireplaces and stuff like that.
Was it helpful when we got there and Chad spilled wine all over your kitchen? That was
great.
Floor? Yeah. Was that nice?
That helps. That added perfectly to
He's
everything
like, feels
else.
a little too cold in here.
But yes, people started showing up, and it was just such a fun night.
I felt like you guys were having fun.
We were.
Like it was really like.
I wasn't at first. Okay, so there's a transition that happened. And not that I wasn't having fun. The first hour of the party, maybe the first 40 minutes, I was stressed. Yeah. I was like, people are arriving. Stuff isn't where it needs to be. I still need to like put food out. I still need to like do all this other stuff. And then as people are arriving, shoes are flying everywhere.
Okay, that was what I was going to comment on, because both Chad and I saw you organize everybody's shoes.
And so, and then people are like needing to put their food down, and I'm like sorting stuff, putting the dessert tables getting too full, so I'm having like rearrange. The first probably hour of the party, I'm like in organization mode still. Yeah. Okay. And then I honestly don't know why, but I had a switch a light switch that went off in my head, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I planned this party. I wanted to do this party. Yeah. All my friends are here. Like, why am I not having fun right now? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I need to just like
get out of my head.
I need to get out of my head. I need to be in the moment, enjoy this. And then as soon as I realized that, I had a great night.
Yeah. So, well, I wouldn't have known, only that we saw you organize everybody's shoes, and we were like, that is hysterical. But I felt like, especially during the white elephant gift exchange,
that was post light switch.
That was post. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It just seemed, and like, what a cool group of people. Yeah. Like everybody just seemed funny and friendly, and everybody knows each other in that group pretty much.
Not everybody. So it's okay. Our friend groups have definitely morphed together over the last, 7 years or 8 years. But Brian has kind of his friend group. I have some of my friend group that was there. We also have like friends from our fraternities, then friends from other groups, mostly Huskies in the room.
The Husky swag that was fought over got pretty heated.
Oh yeah, very heated. But yeah, so we did the White Elephant Gift Exchange, which I was just thinking about. Do you know why it's called the White Elephant Gift Exchange? Because I was
surprised
curious.
You don't.
I'm gonna Google it.
Do it. I will say there are different ways I have played White Elephant Gift.
Okay.
Most often, it's a gag gift. That's why I texted you before, because Chad and I used to take awkward family photos. Yeah. And then frame one of them and give that as the gift. And I was like, we can't do that for 30 plus people that we don't know. Yeah. To have a picture of us in an awkward family photo. But that's what we used to do.
I think that might be right. I think that might be the original intention of White Elephant.
Silly.
Yeah.
Like we were joking, like, I remember one year we got like stool softener as like a gag gift. You know, like it's like things like that.
I mean, this year it seemed like there's only one kind of gag gift, which was the painting of the owl with
Right.
sipping wine.
Yeah.
Which apparently has been passed around over the last
That seemed
few
like
years,
an inside joke.
which I don't really know the joke, but I think it's part of Brian's friend group. They have circulated that over the last few years.
And that was actually taken by somebody who wasn't part of that group.
Which there was a little bit of tension over that, but I found out that the guy took it, Nick, his girlfriend Hannah, or fiance, her mom apparently is super into owls.
Cute.
And super into wine. So he's like, this would be the perfect gift for her. So
and they were lovely. We actually chatted with them before Chad came, the other Chad, because we noticed they were like not really chatting with the other people. So
they're great. So that's Chad, my Chad's girlfriend, Cecily. Cecily works with Hannah. And that's how they've kind of come into the friend group.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that just like the variety of people that were there from all of our different areas of life. And it was so fun. So I just looked up white elephant gift exchange. So white elephant is a burdensome asset, property, or this is weird. The term derives from an old Thai custom of gifting rare, expensive to keep white elephants to the reigning monarch.
And then we started doing stool softeners from that.
Interesting. So I think originally it was like a Thai custom. Okay. The king of Siam, now Thailand, gave rare albino elephants to courtiers, I don't know that word, who had displeased him so that they might be ruined by the animal's upkeep costs.
Wow.
Wow, interesting. So originally it was a Thai thing, but I think the original white elephant gift exchange was supposed to be a funny thing.
Like a bad gift.
Yeah, so maybe we should call it something else. Yeah. But everybody brought like a good gift.
Yeah.
So as I was introducing, I was moderating the white elephant gift exchange.
Hilarious. You were so good at it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to be a host for a show.
I was like, he is made for this.
Dream job. I thought it'd be a good idea to have everybody share their name and then share something that they loved about somebody in the room, which it looked like I was fishing for compliment, but when people started going, everybody was like, want to thank Austin and Brian for hosting tonight.
I swear it morphed because I could have sworn when you first said that, you were like, say your name, say who your favorite person in the room is, and something else.
And explain your gift. Yeah.
And I was going to pick Dean, the little baby.
Oh, Dean.
And then I was like, everybody's saying thank you to Austin and Brian. I was like, this is going to be weird. And then Chad ended up speaking for us because we only had one between the two of us. Yeah. But then it became here's who we're thankful for.
Right. I swear that's what I said, but I did hear people say my favorite person is. So I think maybe it was confusing how I delivered it.
Maybe the first couple people were kind of like, I want to thank these guys for hosting, and also my favorite person is, and it just morphed.
It morphed.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
It was great.
Everybody got into it. Like people were having fun.
A lot of Stevie shout outs.
A lot of Stevie. Yeah. Stevie was great. Oh my gosh. She was so perfect.
I love how when I come, she talks to me. She tells me her story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So white elephant gift exchange, we did. Were you there for any of the garage games at all?
We did not stay for the garage games. We left after the white elephant.
You've been up since 4:30.
I was pretty exhausted. I also felt like Chad's joke about his accent and him being from Yakima.
That was great.
Was like, let's leave on a high note.
Yeah.
Like we don't need
people love that. That was a crowd favorite.
That was a great response. But I was like, I feel like we've done our duties here and we can go.
It was definitely packed in the house with 30 people, 740 square feet, but it wasn't like horrible.
It really wasn't.
And it made us realize once it's like springtime, summertime, it's going to be a great like summertime party house. We can go into the backyard.
Yes.
But we did use the garage. We did a couple games. We did one where you had to like blow up a balloon into a solo cup and then stack that on top of another solo cup.
Fun.
That was really fun. Found that one on TikTok. And then,
I was going to say, I've seen something like that on like Reels. Okay.
Yeah. Did that. And then did another one where you had to like use one of those like party blower things. I don't even know what it's called. And you had to like blow off a cotton ball off a cup. And then you flipped the cup and you poured a drink into the cup, drank that, and then you flipped the cup that. It was
oh my goodness.
Whole thing.
That's fun.
Yeah. That was fun. Great night. People ended up staying until like midnight. So it was very fun.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like cleaning up as people were heading out, and that's my thing. It's like the house had to be clean before I went to bed.
Okay.
So it looked perfect before I went to bed.
Wow. That's impressive. Yeah. Was there quite a bit? Did you feel like it was a lot?
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff.
Okay.
But it was good.
Nice.
I do enjoy cleaning. So
okay. And then like when you wake up in the morning, you're like, you can go to bed.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we woke up Sunday morning, not feeling great. feeling little funky,
Had
little foggy,
indulged a little bit
little
on Saturday.
indulgences.
Good
Yeah,
for you. Everybody needs that here and there.
slept in. Just kind of hung out on the couch for a little bit. Brian made us some bagel breakfast sandwiches.
Yum.
I brought home some Howdy Bagel from earlier in the week.
Okay.
And so did Howdy Bagel breakfast sandwiches. Delicious. And then Sunday was kind of a chill day. We went and took Stevie on a long walk along a river, and then did some grocery shopping, got some coffee. And then for dinner, Brian made like gourmet grilled cheese and tomato soup. One of our thanks to some of the leftovers from the party. Some of your brie that you guys brought was used.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So it was like we brought a charcuterie board to the party, and then you guys brought one as well.
Yeah.
So we used a lot of those cheeses and meats and stuff for these like delicious gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches.
Well, it's funny because when I went to Suncadia, there was this combination of brie, pepper jelly, and like crackers.
Yeah.
There. And the last week that we've been back since that trip, people are posting pictures in our group chat of that combination.
Really?
Like, oh, I'm having it today, or I just got some from Trader Joe's, or I'm doing, and it's hilarious how that little combination has like taken over.
Oh, it's
so
good.
I was like, I'm gonna have to bring that. That's wonderful. That is great.
Last thing we did Sunday night.
Sunday.
We watched a Christmas movie. First Christmas movie we just like sat down and watched of this season. Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
I don't have one favorite.
Okay.
There are a few that I really enjoy.
Have you seen The Holiday?
Yes.
Okay.
That's up there.
I think that's my favorite movie of all time, actually. Yeah. It's obviously a kind of holiday themed movie, but I love it so much. So watch that. Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz, Jack Black, Jude Law.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's one of the best.
It's a classic.
I do love that one. That's on my list. Chad loves Love Actually.
Okay.
I really like some of the like Noelle with Anna Kendrick is really cute to me.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's like Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader.
Is it animated or is it?
No, it's real. Yeah, I don't know. This is what's crazy. We were talking about this, not to totally like jump, but like there is another movie that just came out, not Christmas, but it's Julia Roberts. It was on Netflix. It literally just came out this weekend, and it's like the #1 streaming movie. But what's weird is like went to Netflix. It didn't go.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see. So it's like a lot of these movies that are coming out or whatever. I'm like, they were never in theaters. If you don't have the right streaming platform, you might have never even heard of it.
When we went to go, we're looking for something to do.
Yeah.
A couple weekends ago, and we're like, oh, let's go see a movie in the theaters.
Yeah.
Not great options in the theaters anymore. Like maybe there'll be one or two, like when the Taylor Swift thing came out, that was big, or like the Barbie movie was huge, or Oppenheimer. Like there's been a few big movies in theaters, but other than the headliners, there's not a lot of options in theaters right now. It is weird.
I hope that changes because we love going to the movies on
Christmas
I hope
that doesn't. We don't see them starting to close down or anything.
Yeah. Okay, Sunday for us, I told Chad, I was like, please, Sunday morning, can we just do nothing? I really want to sleep in. I want to just lounge. So we got to do that. Our kids had done a sleepover Saturday night at a friend's house. So we didn't have to worry about taking care of children. We just lounged literally for the whole morning. And then we grabbed the kids, did our little grocery shop, and then we went to a Christmas play at our church.
Cool.
It's like a Mary Poppins themed Christmas play with a little bit of the nativity thrown in there.
Nice.
It was actually so great. I found myself getting excited that it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
It was something that just kind of, I don't know. It was just a little bit of the Christmas spirit that I needed.
Yeah.
Just to kind of also catch you up on what's been happening in our house for the Christmas spirit. We've got,
your daily activities.
We've got the daily activities. We've got Elf on the Shelf.
Right.
We've got the Sephora Advent Calendar.
Oh.
We've got all the things that are happening in our life. Like tomorrow, Allie's got a showcase. Wednesday, Piper's got a Christmas play. We went to the Christmas play yesterday. There's just a lot of activities that we're preparing for. This week is Spirit Week. So we have Christmas pajamas and wacky sweaters and these things. I feel like I've made this harder than it needed to be.
With the daily
to be
thing.
honest.
Yeah.
The daily thing. And also Elf on the Shelf. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
What Elf on the Shelf
Yep.
is? Okay. And one of the fun parts is you're supposed to have the elf do silly things and it's in a new place every single day.
Right.
And so Chad and I are spinning our wheels on how to make this silly. And the kids come out in the morning huh. It's no reaction.
Really?
We're the idiots here. We're not going to do this again. Just realizing I put so much on thinking I'm going to make every little thing magical.
It's like Christmas overload.
Overload.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, Christmas play yesterday, and then we went out to dinner. First time I've been to Stanley and Seafort.
Yeah. Up on the hill.
Up on East Tacoma. Amazing food.
I love their view. I feel like that's an underrated restaurant in Tacoma.
100%.
Because there's not really many restaurants nearby it, and it's like kind of weird to get to, but it's so cool once you're there.
Oh my gosh. We talked a little bit to the waiter about how it's been there since like the 1960s, I believe. But yeah, that was just and it was just our friends that we went to Vegas with. Like we've been trying to get together every week or 2 weeks or so with them for game nights or whatever. And it was just a really nice like way to kind of end the weekend.
Awesome.
Good food and good friends. So that was my weekend.
That's awesome. What a great week. We both had some great weekends.
We really did.
Man.
Yeah. How are we on timing? Because
I think we should probably wrap up.
Okay.
Because the bathroom's calling my name as well.
I love it. Let's be real. Okay.
Great weekends. Great chatting with you.
Man.
Now we're going to have to figure out how to edit this on your computer, but it'll be great.
That'll be great.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Austin.
Bye.